Because that's a trip, just so you know the difference, if you click on that, when you left yesterday, we were messing around with the system. There's work orders and there's trips. A trip is a scheduled trip and a time for a work order. And a work order could have one trip or many trips, because a trip goes on the dispatch board and a trip is associated with a work order, but the work order is the mothership and the trip is Don, the journeyman, went today. Don took his apprentice on that. So each of them could have a trip to the same work order. We didn't get finished today, so we went back tomorrow. We could have more trips on the same work order. So she's hovering on a trip on the right, and on the left, she's hovering on the work order.
Okay, but when you move that over to the dispatch board, you're going to have a duration in it, because it's going to be a trip now?
Yes.
Okay, so
you're scheduling a trip for that work order.
Okay, so move it over, Gene. This is what I'm going to show you. Close, get her out of that.
Stop yelling at me.
So, oh yeah, okay. That's the.
Okay, so let's go and maximize this little board here for a second.
Gene, maximize the board.
Stop yelling at me.
Okay, well.
Okay, but, all right.
Okay.
So you guys messed around and decided that a trip duration was always 2 hours.
We put a default in SM company parameters so that it by default took up 2 hours, but then we can widen it or shorten it or whatever.
But you could go in here and open the call up now, because it says 6 hours in there, and you could go change it to 6 hours. And you could do estimated time, 6 hours or whatever you think right there.
I can't get to this trip screen before I assign it to a tech?
Sounds like it's only when it's on the dispatch board. It's too bad you can't alter this when it's over on the unassigned, is what it takes you saying.
No, I can do trips. Let's talk about trips. So it's part of the database. So let's go ahead and hit 6 or do whatever you want here. But it's a table that's hooked onto the work order table. I'm going to show you exactly how the game works and cancel out here. Okay. So if I go to the work order, so let's go back here. This is a visual and this is the work order. Hit refresh. Okay. So hit the trips. Okay. So right here, this is reading this is the trip record on the work order. And it knows that you just changed it on 6. So behind the scenes, if you did it here, it would change it on the dispatch board. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you this question?
Yes.
If I release my quote and turn it into an SM work order, and it's on, can I move this back to unassigned right now?
Sure.
If I release it, oh, really? Wow.
Right click it maybe.
Oops.
And unassign.
Actually, push it up here. Okay, there.
Okay. When I release a quote, can I add a trip right then before I've assigned it to a tech and put in the total number of quoted hours is 12 hours, 24 hours, 6 hours?
Well, the whole thing about the trip is, come back down to the work order. Oops, we closed out.
Well, I do that a lot. I apologize.
Let's go to the work order. I can.
Now, why, you just automatically pull the last, I can't imagine when there's 4 dispatchers and how it keeps coming back to the same thing. You didn't have to look at what work order is.
The last work order.
Just the last one?
work order. So go to the trips. So what she's asking is, can I go here and assign trips and do it here? My answer is yes. This is where you can schedule things and do stuff. Dragging and dropping it to the dispatch board and going in there does the same thing. So visually on the dispatch board, I'm coming in here and manipulating all this data from the dispatch board, but yes, I can also do it here before I even go to the dispatch board. Once the work order is created in the first place, I can start doing trips for that here, and it affects the dispatch board. The dispatch board is a visual thing, and it's affecting the data that you see right here.
Is it like an activity, Gene?
In the database.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so on when I release it, if I already know that we're going to do the work on that day.
Okay. Now notice the technician is gone. Why is the technician gone? I drug him up there to the unassigned And so the system was like, oh, you
Oh, I
took
wonder
them
why
out.
they teched it, I forgot that it was
So
on that tab.
so on the dispatch board, if it was over here still, on the far left,
Uh-huh.
then this would be blank. So if you deleted this line here, it'd be gone from the dispatch board at that, or on the left-hand side of the dispatch board. at
That's
that point.
correct.
Okay, so let's do that.
So delete that. Go to the far left where the pin is, and just,
Double click. Now, here's the
Very
trick.
good at
Hit,
this.
hit undo here for a second. Now, this is a
Yeah,
funky little
right.
thing.
Oh,
Okay, cancel that here for just a sec so I can show you. Okay, so from here, just hit the big red
yeah,
X.
but how did I make that red X wasn't there a minute ago?
Well, you were half changing data and you had
well,
undo.
so the pin icon. So there's a little pin on the left-hand
Yeah.
side instead of the arrow. When it's there, then you don't get
Yeah.
that red X.
And you were in there and you were changing the
Yeah,
system,
makes
so you were
sense.
having to undo because the system was like, you want to undo what you've been doing when you're monkeying around in there.
Yeah, that's a user thing, I don't know
Okay.
that stuff yet.
So
Okay.
I'm not deleting the work order, I'm deleting the first trip
The first
assignment
trip.
that was assigned to this thing. And you can say yes.
So
So then if
now,
I minimize that and go back over to the dispatch board, it's over here.
Let's, yeah, so now you're back over here, because
Okay.
there's no trips. So by putting it here and then making it wider, so you can also stretch it from 2 hours to 6 to make it 6 hours and do stuff in
now she
there.
could go back to the work order. She could start a trip, do one.
But it said 6 hours in there and it did not span it over 6 hours.
That's because I don't have it on an hourly, I have it on a day for you.
No, and it doesn't do that. This, just by you putting a text of 6 hours in there, does not schedule that thing for 6 hours.
But when I change the trip, it does, right?
I have a
So if I
question.
go here
Yep.
and I go next, probably,
So at this
Then I
point in
go-
time,
pick somebody, probably.
let's enter, no. Okay, enter.
Oh, I don't have a lead technician, I'm with you now.
Well, you're gonna assign, there wasn't a lead one on this, but we can assign one over here. Enter, now
So you
6.
just entered 2 there and I went 3, 2, 2.
I did +1.
Nice. And now, that's not a site, but we could assign Brian to that.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna have an HVAC guy do your.
And now, if he was the journeyman and you were having an apprentice go by, you could also assign an apprentice for 6 hours, and then there'd be a trip on both guys blocking out their time on the dispatch board to the same work order,
They
because
could-
I can have as many people on a work order, of course, as I
And
want.
so, and what if I was on this and I went, and I did that one for 4, which is completely inefficient, I'd never do this, but pretend I did. And I went like that, and I said, in 2 days, he has to go back and do, okay, That doesn't
F4
work
on
like
that little stinker.
Yeah,
And
alright.
it's it's it.
it doesn't know, okay, that's all right. We'll learn this stuff, that's just stuff.
Okay.
Why is that outside? Oh, is that Sunday?
Saturday or something.
Yeah, we put in his normal work days,
7 to 4,
Monday
Monday
through,
through
7 to 4, Monday through Friday, so it's just saying, hey, the dude's normal work hours on his
All right,
technician
like
schedule
3-5.
with that.
Thank you.
And Monday he
Okay,
shows
the
back.
minutes right now.
Now if you hit save
Yeah,
and you refresh your dispatch board, then those are going to be assigned to him with 2 separate trips. So let's go into a 1 week
There.
look. And now if you hover, you're hovering on the trip. And it says what work order you're associated with, but that's a trip for a work order, and that's trip number 2 on the same work order, scheduled 2 hours on that. So trips, do you call them activities now, Maxwell? Is that what you were saying? What's your terminology for assigning?
trip is fine.
Trip.
Trip is fine.
Okay,
We don't need to translate that. That makes sense.
Okay.